Today, we'll be deciding the fate of the swap zoo. And we'll be messing around with slash place a little bit, and maybe even slash clone as we try and do that. But the swap zoo has always kind of been an issue. Allow me to demonstrate. It should turn into a beautiful forest with foxes. But instead, we have two turtles in a glass cage. So technically, we haven't actually lost the file. We have these backup files here. I believe that white terracotta represents 1. I think orange terracotta is number 2. It's based on the old numbering that used to be for the colors. Yeah, if we load this, we should see our beautiful forest scene. Oh my, there's items popping out of the walls. That's another issue, actually, and I have to keep throwing it away because otherwise we're just getting duplicates. Oh yeah, look, here's our beautiful forest scene. With apparently a creeper saved in there. So make sure he doesn't blow up. Oh yeah, you can see the foxes in the distance. So you know how a moment ago, this lever was swapping between like a little glass box and then like the whole beach scene? Well, watch what happens now. Okay, we got the beach scene. Yep, everything is as you would expect. And now you have the forest. Now, we didn't change anything in terms of like redstone or whatever. Literally just loaded a backup. But here's the crazy thing. If I swap it to the beach scene and reload the world. Okay. So now we're back in. It goes back to the glass box. And that is because redstone cannot actually save structures to a file. Let's go look down here. So if, oh my word, items popping out everywhere. So if redstone triggers this command block, it will save it into memory, but not permanent memory, just temporary memory, so like RAM. So what that means is that if we load the backup again, when we swap, it'll be using that temporary. So they're on the correct one. We shall poke the button, which I believe will load the correct backup. Yep. So now it's loaded into temporary memory, and that's kind of why these turtles are there, because loading the backup doesn't run like the whole system. So now we can swap and everything's good to go. So there is a way to make this become a permanent file. But the only way to do that is I have to click the button myself. I have to hit save here. Now, if every time I make a change to this swap zoo, I have to go click that save button, it kind of defeats the purpose of the swap zoo, right? Because I might as well just have them, you know, as... The creeper has returned, it seems. Can't see me through the door. But yeah, this is kind of the crux of the issue is like, I don't really want to be manually clicking save every time. So do we just make it easier to manually click save, or do we change like the entire setup just like permanently? So option number 1 is to replace this button here, which is actually a manual save button, with just like a whole structure block, because the whole manual save thing apparently does not work with redstone. I only discovered that actually in my research for last episode, learning about slash place, which actually we can update some of this janky redstone. First things first though, let's snag a structure block and just put it in place of the manual save. There we go, make sure it's in save mode. So the good thing though about redstone controlling this whole setup is that while it can't do the temporary save, we could actually have it automatically adjust the information contained in here. So, you know, you click the lever one way, it sets Pokemon box 2, set it, click it the other way, and it'll adjust the information. That way, whenever we save information in here, it will always be for the correct structure. So no matter how many times we click this lever, this information will always be up to date. So it's literally just a matter of us hitting the save button. So that's probably as easy as we can make the manual saving. I don't know. You know what? Let's just make it and let's just try it and see how annoying it is. And then we can kind of get a sense of whether we're going to need to change things entirely or not. Oh, this is missing some stuff, but that'll actually work for our test of annoyance, basically. So let's just make sure that this is all working correctly. So we'll go ahead, save, reload. And now, when we flip-flop this back and forth, there shouldn't be turtles or creepers. Yeah, there's no creepers down here. That's where the creeper was last time. He spawned down there. Okay, so the saving is working. So now we can set up the placing. Oh my. We need a way to get rid of entities. The thing is, technically I have a way to get rid of entities, but it doesn't really seem like it's working very good. So we may need to refine that. In fact, I think it's this command block right here. Yeah, teleported entities. Oh, -10. I should actually update that because the world depth was increased. So make it 10 under. That should work. Okay, now that we got rid of all that, we should maybe go save again. Where is this stuff coming from? It's like... What? Is it flying through the ground? I wonder if fixing this command block will actually fix this issue. We could try swapping a couple more times, see what happens. And now, maybe we won't get 5 million entities. Oh, that might have fixed it. There's not entities flying out of the walls anymore. Because yeah, -10, it was at -10 before, and it's not empty space. That is actually blocks. So it could theoretically, if it was all full, it could theoretically just like fly up to the surface. I don't know. So to add in /place, we're gonna need to disconnect this. We'll break the torch first, and then this, so nothing triggers on accident. And for now, we shall just add the command blocks right here. So I think we can place one. Yeah, excellent. So we'll have 2 lines. One thing we can figure out together is there's coordinates that we need to know. And those coordinates need to be the negative, negative, negative corners. So you see how there's like these arrows? If you kind of imagine this as like the corner of a box, negative, negative corner is like right there, which would mean our negative, negative corner that we need is over here, because this is the whole box. So all we got to do is see how far this extends down, because I don't actually remember. Oh, there it is. Oh, we can even see it. Yeah. Okay, so this is the block position we need, which I usually just get by doing this. Now, we put that coordinate set in. We should be able to delete these without anything triggering. This is where something could go wrong. Like things getting placed in the air and weird stuff. But let's just try it. Because why not? Oh, that's real promising, isn't it? Well, I did expect it to do at least something. Is this not? Oh, what? This is always active. Okay, that shouldn't be always active. Okay, now let's give it a shot. Okay. That's a half success. Not sure why these are there. Wait just a second. I know exactly why this happens. So the reason that these things pop out of the ground is they are called tile drops. So a tile is like not a full block like redstone or like a torch or like flowers, for example. And if you break the block under it, the item pops off the top of it because it can only sit on top of that block. So what we're gonna need to do is something that people like to do in creative, like for creative worlds all the time. And that's to adjust the game rule do tile drops to be false. So this is really useful if you're like, if you have a creative world and you hate it when you place redstone and then you like break a block underneath and then the redstone pops off. If you have to do tile drops off, then it's no big deal, you know? If it's a torch, disappears, you don't get the item. If it's a flower, you also don't get the item. So what we'll want to do is temporarily turn it off while we're swapping. There we go. So now we have one that turns it off and ones that turns it on. So yeah, this one turns it off temporarily and then we set it back because in a normal survival world, you do actually want the torch to drop off of the grass block or the sand block or whatever. So now we swap back. No tile drops. Excellent. Oh, so I also added the thing in. Actually, let me just show you this. It's a small change, but now this structure will always have the correct name as whatever thing is there, basically. So like now it should say 1. Yep. Swap back and it'll say 2 again. So now whenever we hit save, it's going to save the correct structure and not like overwrite things, because that would be really bad. So that means now is the time to test how annoying this manual save feature is going to be. So we should probably start with that spot that we saw in the fox den. Or not in the den, outside the den in the back corner over here. So, oh, that's fine. The foxes will pick up some items and like knock off some items and stuff. Oh, we need way more dirt. So it's okay if there's like sweet berries around here. It's mostly like the torches and all the other random stuff that shows up. Actually, is there dirt in? Whoa, I guess that's from mining. Actually, it's probably from the turtle one. Getting all the dirt and stuff. So we will just patch this up. You know, we maybe should like go to that corner. You know, that actually might have been why I left this here. Let's see. Ah, yes. Ah, that's where the spider sound is coming from. All right. This is kind of a dangerous area. Oh, this is the old setup. My first experimentations with messing around with structure blocks and whether or not they could store data reliably and creatures reliably. I think I actually used like a cow or something. It was just this little cage thing. Then we graduated to a far bigger arena. But there was a point where I misplaced basically the entire structure. So instead of showing up like over in the middle, it showed up way down here at the very bottom corner. So if we're trying to simulate this correctly, we should actually probably go back and save periodically. But the idea in saving it repeatedly would be that we're sort of simulating us like making a bunch of changes over the course of, say, an episode, and like just getting a sense of like, if we really do have to save a lot, is it going to get annoying or is it going to be no big deal? Here, actually, let's save it. But actually, we should work a little bit on this one too, because as you notice, there's kelp everywhere. And we honestly still need to keep simulating this constant saving thing, because I think it's the constant saving that has the biggest potential to be annoying. But we want to get rid of this kelp. Obviously, we don't want this much. we used it, I think, to fill have like full water sources and stuff. So all we should have to do is just go make some open places and try and decide where we want. Probably don't want kelp growing too much kelp under this. Wouldn't make sense because they need sun, you know? Do you like how I'm including you with every single save? Are you getting irritated yet? It's getting repetitive, you know? That actually reminds me of something else I was going to show you. Let's chop up a little bit more of this coral and then we can go look at it. I made a frog light farm. Turns out frog lights are actually pretty easy to farm if you can find a magma cube spawner. So I did. And I just came up with my own design. Yeah, this looks a little bit better. Funny thing is, if we save it right now, it's going to save all the little kelp entities, which is not ideal. We should probably fix this hole over here. I wonder if I even knew this was there, because like, if you're a little bit a ways away, you can't necessarily even tell that there's a hole in the glass because of the tiled texture of it. All right, that's the kelp entities out of the way. So we shall save it another time. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Did I just pick up, I might have picked up a bunch of stuff in creative mode. That's okay, I wanted to trash it anyway. The thing is, if you're in creative mode and your inventory's full, you can actually still pick up items, which is an issue if you have things you don't want to get deleted. In that case, I think it's no big deal, but... Okay, let's go see the frog light farm. So, here we are. There's a bastion that I found, and the crazy thing about this bastion that you'll see is it's almost fully intact. Like, I've never seen a bastion that is this complete. Like, look at that. Like, all the lava pools are intact, the bridge is mostly intact. It's like 98% there. It's crazy. Because I had found a couple of bastions, and you need the magma cube spawner, which is at the very bottom. And if you can't find one that's like fully intact enough, there's no magma cube spawner. And so there's, you know, every bastion is like as useless as the other one. But anyway, I got a little magma cube spawner, and you can actually see the setup if this skeleton would stop shooting me. So there's the magma cube spawner there, and there's just a big open room, and there's 2 blocks of powdered snow. And if we go down to the AFK spot here, you'll kind of see what's happening. I was pretty proud of this because I came up with it myself. But like, you need a way to lure the magma cube, so I was like, what if you just have yourself here, and that lures them? And then I was like, well, you also need a way to turn them into the baby ones. And so I tried like a bunch of different things, like dripstone spikes and cactus and like a lot of stuff that didn't work, until I discovered that medium-sized magma cubes barely clip into the, like, they're like 1 block taller, and like they actually clip into the powder snow and actually take damage, and then the little magma cubes don't. They just hop, they're barely in it, and then they eventually fall down. The frogs eat them, and oh, that's the other thing is, so they turn into the frog lights, but because the frogs are sitting on the new mud block, which is visually a full block, but it's actually functionally like only half of a block. So when the frogs drop the frog light, the hoppers underneath the mud block, you can see the mud block right there, the hoppers are able to pick it up through the mud block because functionally it's actually a little bit shorter than a full block. So it works kind of like soul sand, but it doesn't slow them down. So anyway, that's the little setup I came up with. I'm sure there's like way better ways to do it. I just enjoy like, you know, coming up with my own design. It's just kind of like a fun little challenge. I just wanted to show that to you. Anyway, my guess is probably the purple or the green is going to look the best in the fox den. So, yes, here's the haul from AFKing previously, before the episode started. You know, I wonder, would the yellow frog lights look good here? All right, let's give it a shot here. Make sure we use silk touch on these. Let's try a couple. The yellow is a little bit more saturated, I guess, on the frog lights. It kind of stands out more than I would have expected. It looks a little less random though, is the thing. Because like the blue lights is like, what? The blue lights do match with the prismarine. It's all right. I think they're a little less distracting. The positions being random is just makes it look random regardless, I feel like. We could try the purple ones. I feel like the purple ones are going to look best in the fox pen. That's just a hunch though. The purple looks kind of nice with the yellow, but it also looks out of place. If we had maybe put like purple or something around the edges here, it might look all right. We'll try out the yellow for a while. This will give us an opportunity to sort of stretch the save and then change and then save and change to its limit. Because if we come back and like switch it back, then we'll have to resave it, you know, and so it'll give us an opportunity. All right, let's swap to the foxes. Hopefully no creepers spawn. Oh, dude, I bet you the purple will look good because of the peonies. Are these peonies? Aha, they are. They do look weird. It's too bad that we couldn't put them underneath the flowers. Oh, you know what we could do? What if we put a purple light right in there? And that would kind of hide it. Something like that. Oh, we might want to put it up higher to make it look slightly less weird. I feel like that looks better. That looks all right. It makes the trees look a little bit more artificial, but it kind of makes sense in the context of like a zoo. Because then you have like lighting so that people can see them and also so the animals can see. Although actually, I don't know if foxes have very good night vision. Are they nocturnal? Do not know. I think we should probably bury some of them in the ground. Like, kind of like what we do with our main island. And maybe just have like some leaves on top. The one place where I didn't really want to put light was in here inside of their den. But I think if we bury the lantern deep enough, it might actually look all right. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. It's not like too bright, so we can kind of see them if we come in here. Yeah, I guess we'll bury just a couple more of these and then go save. All right, I think that's all the torches on the ground. I did leave some on the walls. Whoops. Because it's dangerous to not light up the walls and have creepers walk in and then blow up you and all your precious animals. So, yeah. Let's just go ahead and save this. I must admit, this is actually working counter to my expectations so far. I really was expecting that the multiple saves would be irritating. And it really isn't. I'm honestly kind of surprised. But I mean, that's a good thing, really. So we'll do that. Actually, you know what? We could make them a little A little like bed, sort of. That's kind of nice looking. Don't think too much about the fact that this probably represents pine needles. Actually, no, pine needles could be comfy. They're squished up enough. Yeah, honestly, the combination of the green and then the frog light behind it is really similar colored to the peonies. It's like you got that bright pink, pinkish purple, and then the green. And this one you got like the same, almost the same green, and then kind of the purpley, almost white, kind of like the center of the flowers. So it actually looks pretty good together. Actually, that's why I think that the frog lights are such a big deal, is because they come in a bunch of different colors that you couldn't really get lights in those colors. So we save that. And now even when we reload, we'll get the... Oh, hey, wait a second. Wait a second. Uh-oh. That's not very good. Did we change these? We did. Oh no. We must have forgotten to save it. You know, I'm actually really glad this happened, because this is probably the other big major flaw with this design, and I wasn't really sure how to test that. That's cool. In a terrible way. Oh, you know what's worse? We haven't cleared the kelp out properly yet, at least in this version. So I'm gonna have to redo all that. Oh. Now I'm curious, did we actually save the... Oh, we did save the foxes. So I must have just forgotten to save it, I guess. I just forgot to save it again. Good thing all I did was just pick up some of the kelp. That would have been really dumb if I like fixed everything and then reset it twice. What we're gonna do is make sure that we save. It says structure saved. Structure saved as Pokemon Box 2S. Oh. Well. Okay, we can do something about that actually. Okay, if we do slash, or not slash, oh, we just put an S there. Put this in load mode. Oh. And then the kelp that we just broke is still there because we didn't do the whole lever click. That's okay, we can toss out that kelp. So I accidentally put an S on it. I did not expect that to happen. So I must have just pressed back, I guess. That's a little weird. Yeah, you know what? These frog lights really do look a lot better. Particularly, I think, at night. Just the color border, it transfers from the sand a lot better into the bright white light at the center of it. So, oh, we missed one. We shall rectify that problem immediately. Let's make sure it's box 2. I cannot believe 2S. Oh, that's probably going to happen again, honestly. The real question, though, is are we going to keep the swap zoo, considering all that we've discovered so far? You know, I had like backup plans for today's episode. I really thought that the save feature, like if we just are saving in between everything, I thought it would be annoying. I was like, it's got to be annoying, right? Like, you know, you just have to keep doing it and then you lose info. Now, if we had to redo that kelp stuff, that would have been annoying. So there is definitely a true downside that exists. But in terms of like saving it. While it may have been annoying for you guys to watch every single time I saved it, I don't know. In terms of like for me playing, it's not that annoying. I didn't really find it annoying. I wouldn't mind manually saving it. And that really answers the primary question I had. And to be honest, I'm actually kind of warming up to the idea that we could have to redo something, you know? All that to say, I think that the swap zoo can survive. And in fact, in building this contraption, I've actually had an idea that wouldn't have worked previously. But the way that, because slash place is inside a command now, so we have like the slash place here, we can do things like execute and say maybe test for a block being white terracotta, and we could actually like rotate through more than 2 options. And so we could maybe have like a fox one, a turtle one, a llama one, and all that stuff just because of the work that we've done today. So yeah, there you have it. The new swap zoo. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I think that this swap zoo does have a future, and it may have an even bigger future than it had before. So I think that that is going to do it for me for this episode. And I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Later, later.